In Wanaka, we estimated that there's around 1 million takeaway cups being used each year, which is huge. The goal of SUCfree Wanaka is for our town, for Wanaka, to be single-use cup-free by 2022. Of those 1 million cups, pretty much all going to end up in landfill, or they're going to end up in our recycling system because people think they're paper and they just end up as contaminants. There's solutions that are out there that are just really about us changing our behaviour. Right now we've got 9 cafes that are totally SUC-free in Wanaka.
Who came up with the name?
I think it was Gina from Wastebusters, yeah. I think we said single-use cup-free and then she went SUC-free. Suck. And now we just talk about them as sucks.
I think we were the first cafe to go SUC-free in Wanaka. Yeah, when we set up this place, we hadn't really thought about it too much, all of that stuff. We just made sure we did the right thing and bought compostable cups and things with green stripes on. And once we started looking into it, actually it was a customer. We used to make smoothies in a plastic cup. Then if somebody was drinking in, they'd use one of these in a plastic, but it was a bio cup, you know. And this woman came in with her kids. She had a couple of kids and they all had a smoothie, and she said to me afterwards, why don't you put it in a glass? And I thought, bong, what the hell are we doing? The little group was already set up when somebody suggested that I might like to jump on it. It seemed like a great idea. It had, you know, other hospital people in it and Wastebusters, and it's a really good group. And I love a good group.
Federal and Fideli went single-use cup-free in January of this year. We decided that we would give people 3 months. We started the conversation, we were talking about it, and then we decided, okay, let's just bite the bullet. One of the things that made this campaign really successful, I think, is the collaboration between the cafes in town. What we found is that when there's a support network between cafe owners and cafe workers, it makes it a much easier message to get across. And then we find when we get together now, we're not just talking about a single-use cup-free campaign, but we're also talking about different issues that we are facing within the community, you know, the COVID pandemic and staffing and stuff like that. So now it's become a real good hospitality community that we've gotten together, and we're all sharing the same goal, which is single-use cup-free Wanaka.
We did some research last year. We asked people what the barriers were to a whole range of different behaviours, and one of them was, do you take a cup when you have a drink when you're out? And the number one barrier for people who didn't always do that was that they forgot, or they weren't planning on having a drink. So we knew that if we could solve that barrier, then having some kind of cup lending scheme is pretty much critical. A bunch of cafes are using the again system, which connects us to a nationwide network, which for a tourist town is really great because it means that people can take an again cup and they can return it to any cafe in that network. So they could take it from a cafe in Wanaka and return it somewhere in Queenstown, or they could get on a flight and go to Auckland and return it up there. So I think accessing that national network's great. But yeah, it doesn't have to be a sophisticated system. We've also got a little local cup return scheme called Wanaka. A couple of cafes are starting to use glass jars, which are, you know, like a super simple reuse.
First of all, we got all of our regular customers onto keep cups. They were great. And, you know, once you've got them and you know you're going to still be able to serve them coffee, they're not going to, you know, flip out. But people were great. They could pay $3 and get a loan cup and get that $3 later, or they could rethink the little schedule and they could sit down and they could maybe chat to someone they didn't know. And even now, you know, there's just very few people who are walking out because they don't want to pay $3 or don't want to sit in. This idea of convenience. People think that you owe them convenience. Like, convenience at any cost is okay. They cannot be expected to remember to bring a keep cup, or they cannot be expected to sit in and have their coffee, but they can and they will, you know, there won't be a problem. Don't know if you feel it in Wanaka, but for someone to be walking around with a throwaway cup is strange here already. It is strange. Already it just doesn't look right. And you know, I'd love people to stop calling them takeaway cups because it just legitimises them. It's the throwaways, aren't they? They're rubbish.
100%, we wouldn't have been able to achieve this without the support of the staff and the backing of the staff. They're the ones on the front line. They're the ones who have to talk to the customers. They're the ones who have to try and convince the customers that this is the way of the future, that in a couple of years' time you won't have an option for a single-use cup. We were a little bit nervous about the fact that we're very much a big tourist town. When we started talking to the tourists, I would say more often than not they were super supportive and actually thought that that was an amazing thing that we were trying to achieve, but also they thought that we were very brave to try and kind of come up with this goal. Everybody comes to Wanaka, and everybody who lives in Wanaka are here for the same reason. It's because they look out their window and they see the beautiful view, and you can't have that without a more environmentally sustainable community.
I mean, we definitely see SUCfree Wanaka as part of Wanaka. It's part of what we do here. We're starting to create some of those social norms around those behaviours. When all of the cafes are SUCfree, I think it's going to be quite an easy message to get across. Just like, that's just what we do here. We love this place and we love our environment and we want to protect it, and it's just one small thing that we can do to do that.